New Futures was a project that we delivered through Vola with Greenbank College as the lead provider. They secured the contract with the Education and Skills Funding Agency. It was funded through European Social Fund, and it targeted young people who weren't in education, employment or training, or were at risk of falling out of education, with the aim of getting them to move into education, get a job, get an apprenticeship, basically re-engage with education, move on in life.
The New Futures project was all about working with young people up to the age of 25 who really didn't know what they wanted to do really, and they'd left school. Many of them with no qualifications or very few qualifications, very low grade qualifications. And the idea of maybe going to Southport College or Greenbank College was terrifying for them. A lot of our young people had anxiety. Just trying to get them to come into us was a big challenge.
New Futures allowed us to engage with around about 200 local people who needed some extra help and support to find their way into opportunities that took them into education, training and employment. Those programmes were quite individually tailored, so it allowed us to build provision around the needs of that individual rather than having sort of a block programme that everybody just had to follow through on.
The project was really good. We supported 1,230 learners between sort of late 2019 and July 2022 when the project ended. Bearing in mind we had that year in the middle of it with COVID.
But we managed to still continue through COVID. Our teachers were on the bikes taking packs out to young people and they were returning them. So we got very quickly into that, and I think there was 150 in total young people. 90% got through the quals through COVID, which is fantastic.
It was really successful, particularly given the difficult operating environment we were working in, you know. So we had 12 delivery partners across the city region. All of our partners, they were the ones who engaged the young people. They supported them. Lots of them got qualifications of different types. A lot of them will have been the first qualification they'll have ever got. They're really important, these projects, because there's so many young people who drop out of education and don't have a good time in school. And it's the likes of our members who are basically there in the community supporting the local young people who others just won't access or can't access. You know, we're not the be all and end all. What we want them to do is to then move them on to go to college and to go to other kinds of provision. But if we don't kind of engage them in the first place, it's never going to happen.
We developed loads of lovely partnerships through that with local employers. So as much as the young people were benefiting from having access to that programme, it also allowed us as an organisation to extend and expand our networks of employers, and they've become part of a long-standing. The project's come and gone, unfortunately, but the networks, the relationships and the young people have all benefited, and that lives on, so it's had that effect too.
That's a real strength of our partnership, is the real grassroots, community-based organisations who know the local areas, they're trusted by people, they're not seen as someone coming at them with a big stick from a statutory service. So they engage because they want to engage. And don't get me wrong, they have to work hard to keep them engaged sometimes because, you know, the nature of the kind of the situations that some of them are in. But that's what their expertise is. And then what we do is we help them manage the project and make sure it complies with the raft of further education regulations that there are to ensure that the funding we're delivering is safe from a kind of an audit point of view, and make sure it's of good quality as well.